Ready when you are.
Go ahead, man.
All right.
No, that's me. That's you. Go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cards in Hand. Today we got a special show for you. Got a good buddy of mine, special guest, Calvin Chang, very avid card player. And as always, I am your host, or we are your hosts,
Wow.
Sam the Bomb and Joel Marazzo. Joel Marazzo and Sam the Bomb.
There it is.
Good buddy Calvin here, ready to talk. Oh, great.
There he is. Calvin.
What up, Calvin?
Hey guys.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am Calvin. I am a 21-year-old University of Minnesota student. I've been playing card games since about my senior year in high school. Started with a little project where I had to write about a subculture. And so I decided to pick trading card game players. And ever since then, I've played card games for, since then.
Since then.
Since then.
What are some of your favorite card games?
I do like Pokemon. That was the very first card game that I started with. Played that for probably a good 2.5 seasons. Recently picked up Magic, and that's been going great as well.
Nice. Have you ever played White Shorts?
Only when Sam tells me to. He sometimes bring a few trial decks in, and I've stomped in every single time we played. But I don't know. It's a trial deck, so I don't know if it's a very good reflection of how the game's actually done.
Trial decks can be good.
Okay.
Trial decks can be good. So we're having some weird, Skype's having some issues tonight, so we're gonna have a little bit of a blurry Sam, I think. Also, whatever. He's reconnecting. It's all good. Sam, you can still talk, right? He can still talk. That's fine. We don't really need.
Sorry, everybody.
We don't really need to see him, I guess.
Oh man, so who watched the Pro Tour this weekend?
Who did? You did? Calvin did?
I totally watched the Pro Tour.
Calvin watched it. What is the Pro Tour?
Yeah, so the Pro Tour is one of the toughest tournaments in competitive Magic. One of the most prestigious events in the series of competitive Magic. You can only compete in it invite only. There are several ways for you to do that, but basically they take the best players from around the world, pay them together, and see who comes out on top with a $250,000 purse.
$250,000.
Yep. And so you have a lot of the professional players. You see them all the time there. And this last Pro Tour, the one that happened this past weekend, was the first Pro Tour, was the first major tournament of the standard format. So you got to see kind of like what happens with what the standard format will shake down.
What did you notice anything that's kind of happening right now?
Yeah. So there was the biggest breakout archetype was the monocolored devotion decks. Devotion being
I knew it.
What's that?
I knew people were gonna make decks with those.
So devotion is one of the new mechanics that just came out with the latest set of Magic, where it really benefits you for sticking to a single color, one of the 5 colors of Magic, and it actually was different from the previous format where a lot of decks were 3 colors, 2 colors. So very different format for sure. And the devotion decks that came out during the Pro Tour definitely show that monocolor can be a thing. And it's definitely going to be an interesting take, a different spin on how the standard format will become.
Nice. So we're having some issues
still
here.
Gone.
So we're going to replace them with the
Yeah, just that's my offline image for now.
There you go. All right.
That's pretty funny, I think. So just
looks just like you. There.
Just now and then, you can.
Yeah, no, I'll watch on the other screen. If you pop back up, I'll throw your video.
All right, for sure. Bayo the Wolf. What kind of limitations do they put on Magic cards when playing Magic these days?
Yeah. So A lot of people there are a lot of different ways you can play Magic. One of the most popular ways to play Magic is the standard format, like what happened this past week in the Pro Tour. The standard format is Magic's rotating format, where um, basically the legal cards in the standard format are the past two blocks plus the core set that was the last printing of a core set before the first set of a new block. Okay, that's a little complicated, but
Rotating card game. It's a rotating card
basically,
game.
yeah, basically you have a block. A block is consisted of three sets, and the three sets basically tell a story in kind of like the Magic lore. So your standard format will involve two of those sets or two of those blocks, and then you have a core set, which is kind of like just something. It's a very basic set. It's a really good way for people to start playing Magic. Very light on new mechanics, and they just included to kind of balance the metagame.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't really big, and everyone knows I'm not really big on rotating card games. I think all of our friends know that. But I think a little light has been shed for standard, and I think that's only just because of modern.
Yeah, and so modern is one of the formats or it's actually one of the formats that Wizards of the Coast is actually trying to push a lot. It is a format that makes it so any card that was printed with the modern borders of cards are legal, and that's from 8th edition onto any current sets. They have a ban list, and that ban list is updated every now and then. And then the other formats then are Legacy, which is basically any card that was ever printed, plus the ban list, and then Vintage, which is like Legacy but has an even broader ban list.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow. You can tell Magic's clearly been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like because like I love Magic. That game is so much fun to me. And actually, we have a special guest in the chat room right now. It goes by the name of the Todd. I know he likes Magic as well. He's an old school player. But man, I did not know there were so many like sets and so many different like Legacy, EDH stuff like this. There's a ton of different ways you can play Magic. Right?
Yep.
And that's like really cool to me. Sam's been talking about like EDH and Legacy for a while, and that sounds so much fun. Actually.
Yeah, EDH is actually really fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, that brings me to my next point. I mean, successful card games, require successful design. Obviously, they're around for a reason. And Calvin had sent me an article from the Daily MTG or Wizards.com magazine. The designer of the game had classified people as 3 different kinds of players, and I think this says a lot about why people play card games and the kind of player you are.
Right.
I thought it was really interesting. Calvin, do you want to speak to that a little bit more? I mean, I read it, but I mean, I think Calvin should take the reins on this one a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So the head designer of Magic realized that there were 3 different psychological profiles associated with people who play Magic. And he basically named them. And the 3 characters, the 3 psychological profiles are Timmy, Johnny, and Spike. And what he decided was to create sets that would appeal to all three psychological profiles in order to create a game that people wanted to play. So the Timmy profile is the psychological profile for card gamers who kind of don't really care so much about winning. They are more of the casual players. They like to play with big cards. They like to play with cards that are not necessarily competitively viable. They play Magic more for the experience, more for the fun, more for the opportunity to hang out with friends, rather than going to a tournament and scoring big. And so when you open a booster pack of Magic cards, you might find some cards that are, they have huge power and toughness, but they also have an absurdly large amount of casting cost. So in a tournament setting, you usually want to stray away from those cards because, you're not realistically going to be able to play them. But when a Timmy sees that card, they'll be like, "Oh my God, this is my holy grail." They love playing with cards with giant effects, being able to stomp over your opponents, and they love it. So, like I said, they don't care about winning; they care about having fun. So the second profile then is the Johnny profile, and the Johnny profile is interesting. They are more of the they find more creative outlets in Magic. They see Magic as more, or not Magic, but I guess card games in general, they see that as a creative outlet. So your Johnny players, they are the type of players who like to create their own combo decks. They like to play with cards that people may have deemed as, not very good. A lot of cards that may have potential appeal to Johnny. And it goes a little more. It goes further than that. Johnnies also appreciate being able to show themselves through card games. If a person is particular about what kind of design their sleeves are, what kind of deck boxes they are, if they prefer to use different kinds of lands or Pokemon energy or whatever. Yeah, or like even people like very basic. If people want to foil out their decks, that may even be influenced by the desire to kind of be or to be as an outlet for self-expression, basically.
Right.
Sooty.
So when a Johnny plays, a Johnny will, they don't really care about how many wins they have, as long as the wins that they get are like by their own terms. They want to win with style. So if it means that they win 1 out of 10 games, they're happy. And then finally is the Spike profile. The Spike profile is probably the easiest for me to identify because I'm with them all the time. The Spike profile is the competitive player. They will go to tournaments. They will want to score big at tournaments, and they will want to win for wealth and glory and fame and things like that.
And winning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And winning.
And so your Spike players, they will, they're the people who net deck. Because they know that there is a solidified metagame all the time. Maybe not all the time, but they know that there is going to be a good deck, and they will, they'll go online, they will find a deck list, and then they'll copy it, practice it a little bit, maybe tweak it. But that is, basically, if you are a competitive player and you go to tournaments, you are a Spike. And so when you create sets, you look at a lot of the chase rares, a lot of the cards that are really expensive. Those are the ones that appeal to Spikes. And that's basically it. So those are the 3 psychological profiles.
What are you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You just said it, bro. He's a Spike.
No, he said he's around. Oh, you are. Oh, I thought you said because you're around Spikes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am a Spike. I go to tournaments, and therefore I'm around other Spikes.
Okay.
I feel like...
What?
I feel like for me, I'm a hybrid, like a Johnny Spike, is what the article says. I like to win on my own terms with like rogue decks and junk. But then, like, I feel like when I'm around Calvin and them, they're like, "Dude, okay, we're gonna go carpool to this tournament in Iowa."
Right.
And I'm like a Spike.
That's true, yeah.
And then, like, when I'm around, like, like you or my cousin who plays White Shorts with me, I'm like a Johnny, just kind of like whatever, dude,
Yeah. I am almost 100% a Johnny. There is no question whatsoever.
You could almost say, too, that maybe I'm a Johnny depending on the card game I play.
Yeah.
Or a Johnny Spike depending on the card game I play, or just all the way Spike. You know what I mean? I think with Pokemon, I was definitely like Spike all the way.
Yeah, which is why I didn't like playing with you.
Right.
At all.
But, like, then it sucks, too, because if I want to play Pokemon casually with other people,
right,
like, I can't play them unless they have a deck that was Tier 1 in some way or another.
Do you remember what we used to have to do? The only way that I would play with you is if you made a deck that wasn't super stupid. right? Like you had to make like a deck that I could actually play against, right? This is the only way that we could have fun playing.
Fail
Remember
the
that?
Wolf. That's a good question.
Or-
No, I totally remember that. I made a couple crappy decks just to play with Joel.
Yes.
I mean, it depends on the game.
Yeah. Available said, regardless of play style, doesn't luck have a big part in all of it? Yeah, it does actually. But
I mean, it depends on the game, though.
yeah, if you can I think actually Calvin and I were just talking about this when you were offline a little bit ago. Control decks, right? He hates them, and for the same reason that I don't like them either.
Calvin loves control decks.
Whatever. Calvin, did you lie to me?
I do not like playing against control
There you
decks.
go.
But if playing a control deck means I win, I'll play it. I'll feel a little dirty doing it, but I'll play it.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, luck is definitely an important factor.
Mhm.
I feel like depending on the game, though.
Yeah.
Magic. I mean, you can still beat a control deck, but although it's super difficult,
Right.
you'd have to be a little more lucky while playing against one in Magic. Vanguard, I believe, is a lot of luck, and I'm not saying that from Salt. I'm saying that from. I mean, maybe in the beginning I was saying that from Salt.
Yeah.
But I mean, Calvin can vouch for me. Like, we all quit playing Vanguard at the exact same minute, like down to the second.
It's actually nice because you can actually figure out. I mean, at least I tell myself that I can figure out why we decided not to play Vanguard anymore, and it actually comes down to the psychological profiles. So one of the things to take away from it is that the Timmy, Johnny, Spike, they are psychological profiles, and they reflect a person's motivation to play games. It's not so much a play style; it's just what appeals to them. So when you talk about Vanguard, Vanguard is a very Timmy game. And I say that because when you play Vanguard, you have triggers. Triggers apply to every single deck. You need to have at least 15, 16, I think it was 16 every single deck. And so when you play, your triggers are the big effect. Every single deck runs them. So every single deck has these big effects. When you flip over a trigger, you're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And so it's you have that experience, and that kind of experience really appeals to Timmys. And so the problem with that is that the play group that I'm in, who decided to pick up Vanguard, we mostly consisted of Spikes. And so when we played Vanguard, what we wanted to do was win.
I was
What's that?
Spike Vanguard.
Yeah, exactly. So when we started playing Vanguard, what we wanted to win all the time.
Right.
So we would play the best deck. We would find the best clan, find the best strategy or whatever, and then tweak it to our liking.
Clan.
Exactly. We ended up doing very well. I think we had several people make it to a national level of some sort, and it's, I don't know. But then eventually we figured out that it's just not a kind of game that if you put a lot of time into it, you don't get as much out of it as you would with other card games.
Sure.
And that's another thing with Spikes. So Spikes, they appreciate you being able to put in the time, put in the practice, and then reaping the effort as becoming better at playing whatever card game they're playing.
Okay.
Because in White Shorts is different. When you pull a trigger in White Shorts, it's not game threatening to the other player.
Well,
it can be towards the very end.
But it also could be a good thing, because if you're hitting somebody for 5, that's 5 chances they have to block that.
Right. So hitting big is not always a good thing. So it's like, there's so many cons that have pros, and there's so many pros that have cons in White Shorts.
Right.
That's probably why I like it so much, because I started playing it right after or during I was playing Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw both experiences at firsthand while playing both card games, and I guess I just naturally compared the two.
Right.
But even in Pokemon is a lot of luck as well, because you could prize because you draw the 6 prizes.
Right. That's
You had
true.
to draw.
Yeah.
And you could prize cards that were essential, like in the
Right.
2012 Worlds. Like I saw the finals for that, and the dude lost because he prized the one card he needed out of his last 2
God.
prizes. One of them was in there, and it was just really shitty.
That
like,
sucks. Oh my god. That's like.
yeah, he was.
What are the
upset.
odds though? Like
Right, he was super upset. Like back in the day when me and Calvin were playing, we had Azelf.
Mm-hmm.
We could look for the Pokemon we needed, or
Right.
but it ain't like that anymore. I don't know if they'll make a card like that again. I don't know, but I mean, it's a kind of a shitty thing to say that you would quit. That I would quit playing Pokemon because there isn't an Azelf anymore. That's not what I'm saying. I quit playing Pokemon because Pokemon just like for a rotating card game, I felt like I wasn't getting much out of it, as Calvin would put it.
Yep.
I feel like I would get more out of Magic playing that because
Right.
after my deck is rotated out, it'll be my modern deck
Sure.
if I wanted it to be,
Right.
But I mean, that's another kind of funny thing. Like I could be a spike player with my standard deck for Magic, and then after it becomes a modern deck, I could still be a spike player if I wanted to, but it could still be chill. Like I would play as a modern deck, playing modern tourneys for boosters. Like who cares,
Right.
But
See,
yeah.
I could never be a spike. I just can't. I just can't do it, man. It's not. There's no way it's ever in my personality to play competitive. Even when we went to the White Schwartz tournament, what deck did I bring?
Your troll deck.
I brought a deck that was meant to troll people, not to be competitive in any way, shape, or form, but to make people frustrated. That because it just shouldn't destroy them, but it does.
Right.
And even when given the opportunity, because I couldn't play because I didn't have a Japanese deck, I could have easily bought the trial deck, which I bought a Milky Holmes trial deck. I could have printed out the translations and played right there, and I didn't, because that wasn't what it was about for me. I could have used any of my other Japanese decks, but I didn't.
But what was your reason to go to the tournament though?
Just to troll.
Okay.
Just to I wanted to win with something that was funny like that. And
Sure.
I didn't want to
Okay.
win because I didn't care about going to nationals, blah blah blah. Tear down the mind before you tear down the body. Exactly. I just wanted to have fun. That's all it was. Just wanted to have fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't know. I think I have more fun that way than being super competitive. Because for me, being super competitive is where emotions come in. And wars are waged and feuds are, started.
I feel like any card game should be just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like to play on a competitive level, you should still have fun. If you're not having fun playing at a competitive level, then you're an asshole.
Wow. Or it's just not for you. One of the two.
No, I'm saying if you get really mad at the other player for whatever reason and start sharking them because you're losing or something, then competitive is not for you.
Sure, exactly. And I know for a fact competitive is not for me. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But the guy at the 2012 Pokemon Worlds, yeah, he got upset, but he was still smiling and saying, damn, I'd be upset too if I was in the last two.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
whatever.
I'm not saying don't get upset. Even when you and I just play, we get upset, right? It's like, fuck, man, come on.
Because decks are gay.
Yeah.
Decks are lame.
Whatever.
But I mean, it's we still have fun. It's not
Yes.
I think the games that we get really upset about are the games where literally the whole time you're not drawing anything, and that's just any card game.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, that happened the other night. Remember?
Yeah.
I have never seen a deck randomly shuffled in such a way. Like when you saw it, it was almost uncanny, right? How nothing I could draw was any good for the entire first half of the deck. It was just really bizarre. It was really weird. It was just laid out in such a weird way. But yeah, I scooped. I was like, I don't want to play this one anymore. Let's just try again.
Yeah, see, that's not fun.
Right, no, it's not.
Because here's the thing, too, and I'll say this. At a couple of Street Fighter tournaments, I've laid wasted to kids who are just oh, I've never played this character before. I just thought I'd try him out. It's like, well, it wasn't really fun. You obviously weren't really good with that character, so why don't you play? Why don't you play your main character and let's see how it goes?
Right.
Or at Vanguard tournaments, the last Vanguard tournament I went to, the team tournament, our first match, we 3-0'd the other team, and I ran this kid over. Like he wasn't drawing anything, he wasn't pulling triggers. I was pulling triggers. I was pulling off MLB. Majesty Lord Blaster. I ran him over.
Yeah.
He didn't have a chance.
It's like how much fun would it be if the three of us right now, well, not right now, but like tomorrow, went to like a grade school and beat up a bunch of kids.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Like how cool would we feel? We really wouldn't feel that cool.
Right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be that much fun.
Exactly. Or like another Street Fighter tournament that I was at. This guy kept me on my toes the whole time. It was like I've never had to play as hard as I played that match. And when he beat me, I shook his hand. I was like, that was so much fun, dude. Holy crap. Like, that's when you have the most fun.
Yeah.
I think. But another thing, too, about, I don't know, like, it's okay to be a little salty. But if you're going to, like, I've seen people at Pokemon tournaments just, like, have their, like, their hands in their face and then just go, like, I should have played better. Like, they just get, like, they're legit, like, they feel bad for themselves.
You've actually seen people act like that?
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There are very few incidences where, like, it's very extreme. There are no table flips. I have not seen a table flip.
Yeah, table flip.
But, you always, at any tournaments, at any big tournament, you finish with round 1, round 2 or whatever, and then you meet up with your friends. You're just like, oh, how did round 1 go? And they'd be like, oh, it's terrible. And then you say, oh, well, what happened? Well, it's either 1, some stroke of bad luck, or 2, you played poorly.
Right.
So people are always really upset. I mean, the one thing is that if you go to a tournament, you lose a few rounds, and you should reflect. You should know why you lost. Otherwise, if you are looking to become better at playing a card game competitively, if you don't do that reflection, you're never going to learn anything. And if you don't learn anything, you're not going to get better. So.
Oh, crap. I just realized something.
What?
I think I might be becoming a Spike with Hearthstone.
Oh, see? Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah.
See, I was. That's what I was trying to explain to him, and we just had this conversation. I just said this to you the other day, dude. You're getting real competitive with Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Like you should just do some of these tournaments and shit. Like, You're
absolutely right. Because after every match, you've been on the call with me when I'm playing, and I freak out because I'm like, oh my God, that was a total misplay. Why did I do that? I should have done this. Why did you've been there? You've heard me do this. And it's absolutely true. Oh, shit.
I mean, no one likes losing.
No, but I really don't like losing on that game because I don't lose very often.
Oh.
Sam, I can see you, but you're frozen. So try click.
Fine. Just keep the robot on there for now.
You're
just
still
trying
a
to dig
robot.
around with. But like even and even like my cousin Marmar, who's in the chat room right now. Bayo the Wolf. Like, he is all about having the funds, But sometimes when we play Killer Bunnies, I don't know if you ever played that. That's probably one of my most favorite tabletop like card board game things. It gets really intense. Like, we have to put a time limit. Like we've been like, okay, we're gonna start this game at 6:00, and then we're gonna clock it at 11:30 because I gotta go to bed. Because
that game takes that long. Wow.
Yeah, no, those games will last like 5 hours.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah, they'll last a really long time. It's because we always played with 5 or 6 people.
Okay.
But I mean, even with 4 people, it could last like 4 or 3 hours.
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours, like 4 to 3 hours.
4 to 3 to 10 hours.
From hour to 1 minute. But like that game is so fun though. Like, oh my God. But even then, like there have been times where I played that and gotten a little salty because like shit was lame. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're no longer a robot. You're just on your frozen picture, but it's a good shot. So
I'll just be a frozen picture.
That's fine.
So like,
That's totally
But
fine.
how can a game called Killer Bunnies not be intense? Good question. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I don't even, like, that literally flips my entire perception, so I really don't even know what to do anymore.
I don't understand. I don't even know why we're here.
I don't know. I kind of want to just end the show right now, I guess.
Just forget it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Bye, guys.
I'd flip a table, but this desk is really, really heavy, and there's, like, a lot of stuff on it. So
I'd flip a table with my TV that's also my monitors on it.
But
yeah, interesting article, though. I dig it.
yeah, interesting
That's
enough
very-
to spend half an hour talking about, so there we go.
And it's very... it feels really appropriate, because I always have these kind of debates with Joel that are like... each box comes with a free set of knives. Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Every expansion, it's a different kind of knife.
Yep, exactly. You have like your
Killer Bunnies.
knives,
We
stuff
got
like
to play that, dude.
Yeah, I
We
would
gotta
like
do
to.
that.
I would definitely have to try that out.
Yeah, dude. We got to play that for sure.
But yeah, we get into arguments quite a bit about why we play
Competitiveness.
card games. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like what kind of players we are, because we
And,
are two very different players.
And Calvin, back me up on this a little bit, okay?
No, come on! Don't even try to get like a joke. No, screw you guys.
Okay, Calvin, you take whichever side you think is legit, okay? Or
Okay.
actually, don't take a side. Just like,
Yeah, there we
try to
go.
be the moderator.
Yeah, let's
here.
like
Don't
be
take a
fair.
side.
Why not, right?
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
Besides, you're on the bottom anyway, so
So me and Sudi, we spend a lot of money on Pokemon,
Yep.
and
I
I'll definitely like say that that I have spent a lot of money on Vanguard as well, and and I mean the most expensive card I've ever spent on Vanguard was probably like $15.
Okay.
So it was like, I've told, and I'm building an Evangelion deck for White Schwartz right now, and the
Mhm.
grade 3 on a website is $20.
Okay.
Seems legit.
Mhm.
I think it's fair for what it does and for how it's used.
Mhm.
And it's a double rare. So I mean, obviously not a lot of them are printed as much as rares or commons out of whatever.
Sure.
You know how rarity works.
Yep.
It's $20, and I only need one or two of them. Probably one. But I mean, it's like I've told Joel this, like, hey man, really want to buy this card, and he's like, no, that's stupid. The best way to build a card game is just get a box and build what you can with it. And it's like that seems legit though. That's a really good point. Like that's like it's kind of like treasure chesting, It's like I'm gonna see what I get out of this, and this is how I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you with whatever in this box.
Mhm.
Like that's badass,
Mhm.
That's like Battle Royale, like in the movie Battle Royale. We're gonna give you a bag with a map and a random item, and that's how you have to survive.
yes, and I have so much more respect for those that do survive then.
Right, right. But it's like, I feel like in a competitive nature, like if I wouldn't have never been able to got as far as I did in Vanguard
Mhm.
without spending money on those cards.
Mhm.
And being that I was, spike-ish, spike as the article would put it, I could not go to these tournaments and play the decks I was playing
Right.
without.
That all makes sense now, though, because you're right. You competitively, you would not have been able to do anything going by my philosophy.
Right.
But I think we've established that I'm not competitive in those games. So
Well, okay, but let's take White Schwartz.
Mhm.
Like even I know earlier you said I just went to troll people.
Mhm.
Like that's cool. But like what if
No,
like
it's not.
even with me though, you're calling me like, dude, you gotta check out this card. This is what it does. It's awesome.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, why don't you go buy a box of it and then not pull it? Like, you know what I mean?
Then
Like,
that's the luck, Then fine, I won't. I'll find another way. Look,
I'm just
okay,
saying.
okay. No, I've always said this. I completely respect you in your decision to buy cards. It's fine. That's just not how I play, and this is why. Okay. Remember when we were going over a Final Fantasy strategy guide together? And you said, fuck that, I don't play that way. Right?
yeah.
You don't use a strategy guide. Same
I
reason
don't.
that I didn't use a Game Shark on my first run through of Final Fantasy VII. Why?
I never use strategy guides. I
Right.
never have.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, if I'm playing Pokemon, like the old game, right? Gold and Silver, whatever. If I find a shiny Pokemon, that's super cool, right?
Right.
How cool of a feeling is that when you get that shiny one? And then you want to shine out your whole team, right? So you spend forever looking for those shiny ones. You could never find them. But then what happens when you use your Game Shark to get shiny Pokemon? Like, to me personally, it's not that cool. It's kind of lame because it's like, oh, here is just my team of shiny Pokemon. I just bought these through my Game Shark. See my correlation here that I'm trying to make?
Yeah.
I love the thrill of opening up a pack of cards. That's what I love. And I love the thrill of getting stuff because I got lucky, because that's what the fates decided. I just feel wrong buying them. Like, I feel wrong going, okay, and here's another thing. I like, excluding trial decks, because trial decks are prepackaged decks. I mean, they are what they are. My Sword Art deck for Weiss Schwartz, it's really good. And I love it. And I love playing it. Right? But it feels so much better because I didn't buy the cards that would make it amazing. Right? Like, I got the cards and I figured out my own ways to make it work well. And it does work well. It performs really well. But, like, if I were to say, okay, I need 4 this, 4 this, 4 this, 4 this, and I buy them all and I make that deck is probably going to do the same thing every single time I play it from here on out, right? Would you agree?
Right.
It's going to be as consistent as possible. That's
Right.
fucking boring to me. It is
But if
so
you weren't-
boring.
But do you think your perception would change if you weren't just playing with me and
No.
the few other people we play with?
Well, I guess no. Actually, it wouldn't. Because, okay, here's another
If
thing.
you played on the level that Calvin plays Magic and Vanguard.
If I was playing competitively, then yes, that'd be a different story. But I'm not a competitive gamer in these, except for Hearthstone. But it's a little different. Because guess what? I don't have to spend a dime to make those cards either. I can get all those in the game. But here's another thing, Sam. You know why I don't play the Sword Art deck very often, right?
Why?
It's because it's fucking boring now. It's a one-trick pony to me. It does the same thing every single time I play it. It's just not that much fun to me.
Right.
Because it's super consistent like that. But like my other decks that I have, yeah, they do something, but there's always that chance that it won't work.
That's such a weird perspective to people like me and Calvin.
I know, I can totally understand that. It probably totally is. Calvin, are you like, did I blow your mind?
I mean, it's just, I don't know, they're ever since I started playing Magic, you realize that there are just so many different ways people want to play a card game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not too surprising that all you want to do is just buy a box and, make a deck or whatever out of it.
Right.
I guess my one question is, you say that it's just really boring when you pick up the really good Sword Art deck.
Mm-hmm.
How do you change your strategy depending on what deck you play against? Is that very different?
It doesn't matter with my Sword Art deck. It doesn't really matter. So
Okay, is that
back me up on that, right?
I mean, Weiss Schwartz is kind of weird because some matchups are good, some matchups are bad, and most of the time your matchups can be neutral.
Right.
okay?
Like I'll say this right now: a tier 1 Sword Art deck will not be beaten by a tier 1 Milky Holmes, probably.
Nope. Well, that's a little different because the Milky Holmes has the bounce, but
Right.
bad
Okay.
example.
Well, then
maybe a Vivid Red Operation's not going to beat it.
King of Fighters,
Yeah.
Persona 3,
Mm-hmm.
those decks probably will not beat a tier 1 Sword Art or even a tier 1 Psychopaths or Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. There are some matchups that are good, some are bad, but most of the time they're pretty neutral. It's not like Magic.
Right.
So when you play a Weiss deck, you generally just do the same thing every single time anyway?
Well, I guess maybe. I don't know. Well, no, okay. So if you don't have 4 of every card that you need, right? Because the max is 4. like most
Okay.
games.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is 3, but yeah.
Well, okay. So, well, in Weiss, the max is 4. So if I have a couple, because like every deck does like a key thing, right? There's something that a deck does, which is
Yeah.
half the reason why it's so much fun for me. So
Yep.
if I have 4 copies of every card that I need, the chances of me, damage checking the one copy of the card that I need is minimal, right? Because I have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I run the decks that I have, like the double rares and stuff that are really good, I tend to get 1 to 2, right? Because I usually buy 2 boxes at a time.
Sure.
There's a really high probability that the one big combo card is gone, and then I got to rely on, skill and luck to win. Then, and I like that sense of danger, because when things happen the same thing every time, I might as well just be watching a movie.
Right.
The movie's never going to change.
Right.
And that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of my, that's why, I guess.
That might be something that's just specific to Weiss then.
That's true. That's very, very possible.
Fear the Shy Guy in the chat room. Maybe at the end of the show, I will try and do that.
Let's sing the Cleveland show opening theme. Yes, please do.
I'll try.
Amazing.
My name is Cleveland Brown.
Now your video's working too.
Oh my God.
Is my video working?
Your video is working for now.
Last 15 minutes of the show? Let's do it.
I know, right?
Apparently the Cleveland show is
oh my God.
all you need to get your webcam to work.
I mean,
let's segue from there now.
Sure.
Talking about the way card games work and stuff, and maybe how a Johnny, Timmy, or Spike may apply to those. Like, because as I said earlier, when I was a Vanguard player, I was a Spike.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. When I play with Calvin and these guys that we play with, we're nothing but Spike. So even casual play is Spike play.
Mm-hmm.
Our casual play is play testing.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But even my Evangelion deck, I will say that my Evangelion deck is pretty close to tier 1. It's tier 2, I would say. But even then, me and Joel still have a lot of fun. It's a different build. It's not a red build, so I mean that's probably another reason why it's not tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, segueing from the kind of card games, me and Joel had the opportunity to try Angeverge last weekend, and it was lame.
It sucks. It's so not that much fun at all.
No card gamer, not a Magic player, no Vanguard players, no any kind of card gamer would like this game.
Look, here's the thing. In theory, on paper, this sounded fun. Because it uses a lot of Vanguard systems, so like you ride the Vanguard basically in this. You take your levels, where is it? And you have to you go up in levels, stuff like that, like Vanguard. It plays like Weiss, where you have climax cards that block damage, right?
Yeah.
And it plays like what's the other one? There was something else like Magic.
It kind of played like WoW and Magic because you had to pay resources by putting one down and tapping.
Yeah.
But you didn't have control. That was another thing that was lame, is that you didn't have control of putting them down from okay, so you had this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have control of just going, okay, I'm going to take this, put it down as a resource.
Right.
You had to blind do it from the top of your deck, and when you got up to 8, you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you'll see that every card has all this text on it. So I'm thinking oh man, it's gonna be like Weiss Schwartz. Weiss Schwartz has a ton of stuff, and Magic, same thing. They all have every card does something cool, right? And it's different. No, this game is almost every one of these effects on these cards is plus 5,000, plus 2,000. It's just boosting your damage.
Right. And we didn't have the extra booster, obviously. Booster, we just had trial decks.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know if there is a lot of the way the game played. It didn't even seem like there was a lot of wiggle room.
And actually,
have other cool mechanics.
I looked at all the booster translations. There's no extra mechanics really.
Okay, well there we go. That just answers.
So basically, what you're doing is generally in a card game, when my card kills your card goes away, but not in this one.
No, your card doesn't go away.
Yeah, damage is exchanged, and then they just sit there. So it's God, it's super lame.
Right. I think if the characters went away after you beat them,
definitely,
it'd be different.
So it actually brings up a nice point. We talked about Timmy, Johnny, and Spike being the psychological profiles for people who play card games and what appeals to who.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually one minor one. It's called Vorthos. I'm not sure where the name comes from, but what it is, it's the type of player who cares about flavor, and that a lot of flavor content appeals to them.
Okay.
So, I mean, there was a trailer you guys showed last week for this card game.
Right.
And, based off the trailer, you can probably imagine that the card game appeals to people who, are anime fans who, I don't know, like action and
Dude,
I don't know
that
what it
clip
is.
was sick.
Yeah, so
it made
I
me
mean,
and
it
Joel
could
want to
just
play the game.
Yeah.
right, it could just simply be a marketing tactic just to have a trailer for a card
Yeah,
game.
definitely.
But just the fact that they decided to use like anime as a vehicle to develop the game may appeal to a certain population, and if that population finds that the anime flavor is something that appeals to them, they'll play it, and thus they are playing it for a very Vorthos reason.
Sure.
Dude, me and Joel have been really into anime for like the past year. Look what happened.
I know.
Right,
We
and
bought
so
that
Exactly
shit.
it, yep.
We bought that shit, and it was
Right.
lame.
Yeah.
And so the
all
other thing too,
all y'all who are into anime and you were interested in Anjaverge, no.
and the other thing too is Weiss. They use a bunch of different anime and video games like that. That is a very Vorthos way to appeal.
Sure.
Right. And
Yes.
for the most part, it's a pretty decent card game, and that's probably why I keep playing it. The only reason that attracted to me in the first place is because of Disgaea,
Hold on.
Persona 3.
While
and-
you talk, I'm gonna show. Tell me this art isn't awesome on these cards. Like,
Oh yeah,
tell me
for
that's not cool. Like
Right.
they all
The
have a
artwork
very
is
cool
sick.
style to them.
The artwork is very sick.
Right. Like, it's frustrating because everything about this is cool except the actual game. Like
Right.
itself. Anyway, go ahead.
But I mean, the only reason I got into White Schwartz is because Evangelion's probably my favorite anime of all time.
Mhm.
Disgaea, which is probably one of my favorite RPG games of all time,
Right.
and Persona 3, which I was just like getting into because one of me and Calvin's buddies borrowed it to me. I mean, I was like, that's cool. They're in a card game. You can make them fight each other. That's sick, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, it turned out it was a pretty decent card game anyway.
Right.
But the Vorthos thing is definitely like me in a lot of ways too. Being an artist and a graphic designer, I am like that a lot. And so is Joel. Like
Yeah.
Joel especially is like, dude, look at this artwork. Look at this. Like, look at this climax. You have to see this climax. Like, because we're just like that. We have a designer's curse. So everything we see, we're looking at it from an artist's perspective in that way, But I mean, this artwork is pretty sick. Like, oops.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty dope.
Oh, and like the actual card backs. Do you have your card on you?
No, I can pull one out.
Yeah,
though.
pull one out. Show them the card backs because the card backs. Okay, so like card game. Hold on, I gotta go back for this one. Card games have like the ugliest card backs ever, except this game. This is the best card back. It's just so beautiful.
It looks like a tarot card.
It totally does. It doesn't look like a '90s like design.
Like, Pokemon has been around for a while, and so has Magic.
Oh.
So they've kept the same cards. They don't want to. I don't think they want to change the backing. Okay, like here's an example of bad card design. I just built these decks. Today, or
Yeah.
not today, but last weekend.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then when the next series came out, they did this. Are you stupid? You must be you can't fix stupid. Look at this. So now I for sure have to sleeve these because we can't play them if they're not sleeved.
Right. You can't mix them because they have two different backs, meaning you couldn't play them in a tournament or anywhere.
That's just so ridiculous. Like,
I don't think they have tournaments for that game.
Shut up. We're gonna start one.
Yeah, I mean, Anjaverge, in conclusion, nah.
Nah, it's, you know what? Buy them if you like to collect cards because they are really pretty.
Like, I'll definitely be putting some of these in my binder.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
To have them in there.
And you know
Just-
what? Dude, it was like $6. Right?
Yeah, the
Like,
trial looks for $6.
Come on.
So, I mean,
But
that's
don't ever
really-
try to play it because it sucks.
right.
It sucks horribly.
I would hang that back up, but I pulled the pin down.
I heard that.
But, I mean, also, though, it's just, yeah, don't play it.
Don't play it.
Something I did want to talk about, though, I think Calvin posted this.
Yeah.
on our group, the Mega Evolutions for Pokemon. I thought those were kind of sick.
Mm.
Actually, I don't think it's sick. I think it's really lame.
Why don't you explain what that is?
Calvin, you can take it.
Oh, yes. So the Pokemon Mega Evolutions, they are a new mechanic that was introduced in the 6th generation video game where your Pokemon, when in battle, they can Mega evolve into like a Super Saiyan version of the original form.
Now hold up a
Okay,
second.
Calvin, I'm gonna stop you right there. You pronounced Digivolution wrong.
Damn it! Fuck
Right,
you.
I'm sorry.
That was my
Sorry.
joke,
Do
you
it.
asshole. I was just gonna do it.
Those evolutions they're temporary. They only activate during battle, and then they revert back to the original form
You
afterwards.
do like a Power Ranger, like Digimon thing, like.
Right. Yes.
Oh, did my computer freeze again?
No, you're just being a jerk, so I made you a robot again.
Oh, come on.
And
You didn't see my Digimon Power Ranger hand motion.
Calvin, continue.
Anyway, so they wanted to incorporate that into the card game somehow, and what they decided to do was they introduced they had Pokemon EXs as a thing previously,
Right.
and we've talked extensively about that before. What the new mechanic is for the Pokemon Mega Evolutions is that you can play the Pokemon Mega Evolution on a Pokemon EX. So you evolve an already super powerful Pokemon to get an ultra buffed version of it. But the cost of that is just ending your turn immediately.
That's so stupid.
So it's basically Goku.
It's reminiscent of yeah. It's reminiscent of the old level X mechanic. But the thing is they haven't really spoiled any cards for the Mega Evolutions quite yet, so it's hard to tell and see if the cost is really worth the benefit.
Right. Which it probably is.
The thing about level X's though is that they weren't even that much more powerful. I think the only thing that was powerful about them is that each level X had a crazy Pokebody or Pokepower, and then an extra move, and then sometimes you didn't even use it for that extra move. Yep. You used it for the HP or the Pokebody, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And there were still answers to them. Like Luxray level X, dude, I mean, Luxray, it's Luxray G, and Luxray G was owned by Volkner, and that's why he was an SP Pokemon, so he was a basic instead of a third form like he's supposed to be. Luxray G level X, you know, even with the level X on top, you could do the Machamp takeout move, and takeout was if the defending Pokemon is a basic, just knock it out for one energy, and you could knock out level X's, you know, and it wasn't a big thing. Flygon level X had a move called choose one of your opponent's Pokemon level X and do 150 to it.
That's what it was called? That's a long name.
Okay, anyway. So like,
they fit on the card frame just fine.
It's really small type. Don't worry, I understand.
I'm just saying, like, level X, back then level X's weren't that OP, and the fact that you play another powerful card on an already powerful card, and the only cost is to end your turn immediately, there has to be another repercussion to that than just that. Like, take 3 prizes or something.
Or
like
5.
Take 5 prizes. I don't know.
Win the game immediately.
Yeah. If you knock out your opponent's Mega, you know.
If you knock out your opponent's Mega Digivolve card, you get to burn their deck.
Can't play without a deck.
I know. We should probably go back to Magic for a second, because Calvin was telling me some. You were talking about like the tournament.
Oh yes, the Pro Tour.
Did we even get to that here, or were we just talking about Johnny and Spike?
Nope.
We didn't. We transitioned.
And Timmy. Don't forget Timmy.
Johnny and Spike really quick.
Timmy's so underappreciated.
I know.
Fuck Timmy.
I don't even.
I threw that bitch down the well. Fuck Timmy.
Yep.
What is that, Lassie? Timmy's down the well again?
So the tournaments are over, right? Or are they still going?
Oh yeah, so the Pro Tour is actually, it's really cool. It's a 3-day event. They fly all of their competitors, pay for their flight and hotel and everything. This one took place in Ireland. And so yeah, you have Friday, that's day 1 of the tournament. Day 2, you have to get a certain record to advance to day 2, and then day 3 is your top 8. And then the winner is then crowned on Sunday. So that happened this past weekend. Well, you get a trophy, and it's pretty sweet. Oh. So, and a check for lots of money.
Didn't France take it? France
yes.
First?
Wow,
yeah.
spoiler alert.
I think they had like 3 to 4 players in top 8. The French team did. And then the top 2 was France versus France.
La France.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, France has been doing really hot in the Magic competitive scene. They took top 2 many places in top 8 this past Pro Tour, and they won the Magic World Cup, which is like the Magic Olympics that happened a few months ago. So yeah, there's that.
At least they weren't Korean.
I don't know if Korea has a team. Oh no, they have to.
Whoa.
No, they do. They do.
Thank you. I wonder if
They're
they play.
very-
I wonder if they play Angevers in France. I wonder. You don't think so?
Probably not.
Damn. Because we don't play it here either. Who ended up actually winning? Is it like a team thing, or is it like a single person that wins?
No, it
Oh,
was
it's a single.
Okay.
It's a single person team or a single person event,
Mhm.
but a lot of the pro players play on teams.
Sure.
And so they always get together like a week before the tournaments and, play out games, do a lot of drafting online to get a feel of a format. And
Okay.
yeah, so you have like Team Channel Fireball and Team Star City games, like the big teams in the US.
Mhm.
Yeah, Star
and so-
City Games. Sick. It's kind of like Evo. Evo is like the Street Fighter or
Right.
the fighting game
Fighting
tournament.
game, yep.
They have teams like that too, but I mean, I've seen many times where the top 8 consisted of 2 team members going against each other. I mean,
Happens all
Yeah.
the time. Yep.
That's pretty cool. So then, like, as a team, do they split the prize money?
No.
Oh.
I don't. Actually, I don't know what they do with the prize money. All I know is that they're very happy when one of their teammates win.
Because, guys,
Uh,
the 3 of us need to start building a Magic deck for next year.
Eh.
We'll split it if any of us win.
it
Split
just
back.
rotated, so you should just build it now.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's do it.
I'm building mine right now.
Me too. I already built mine. Shut up. Go on.
I already have it.
It's already done. So who actually won, like, all of it? Who won the big thing?
Let me find the name.
Forgot his name. Yeah.
Well, do you know what deck they used?
Yes, it's
Mono
the.
blue.
So we started the show. I was talking about the mono-color devotion deck.
Yeah.
Top 2 was a mirror match. It was mono blue devotion versus mono blue
Oh,
devotion.
wow.
Sasso, god of the sea.
Yep. The guy who won, his name is Dizani.
Yep, that's who it was. Desani. Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
And so that was the breakout deck for the tournament, and cards in that deck have just spiked from $4 to $20, $15 to $20. It's a very
Each
expensive deck
a
now.
piece, right?
Yep.
A piece.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you need, what, 4 of each?
4 Master of Waves at $20 a piece, 4 Thassa, 22 to 25 a piece.
Oh god.
But
Yeah,
I suppose
and then
one
you
could
have,
say
like-
it's worth it if you win $250,000.
The winner doesn't get $250,000. The entire purse is
Oh.
$250,000.
Okay.
The winner gets like 40, I think.
Oh, well, that's not worth
Yeah.
it at all then.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
fuck
for-
$40,000. I could have $40,001 by now. Shit.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
That's super
Well,
cool.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight's show.
Yeah, I got...
Uh,
oh, no. Dude, bro of the week.
Oh yeah, let's do that, dude. Okay, what was the bro of the week
hold
story?
on. Stop. Calvin, do you have anything
Hammer
else you
time.
want to say?
No, it was fun joining you guys today.
Okay.
Wait, Calvin, you don't have any like good polls or anything? Did you play any? Did you draft at all this week or no? Not yet.
I did
last
draft.
week?
I actually drafted. I drafted twice this week.
Oh, did you get
Um,
any good polls? What's a good poll? We got a poll
I
of the week
actually
already.
pulled.
But...
I pulled a Thassa.
Oh yes!
But
Oh, that's sick.
the problem with that though is I pulled it on Magic Online,
Oh,
so I don't actually have the card.
So
But I ended up
that
selling
was-
it for like I ended up selling it for like 8 tickets, which is like $8. Which
Yeah.
8 tickets is $8. Which pays for like half of another draft. So it's
So
whatever.
I was gonna switch that to the poll of the week, but then you said the online part, so never mind.
What's the
Yeah,
poll?
sorry.
What's the poll of the week? What are you talking about?
Shy Guy, dude. Shy Guy. Our dude Shy Guy pulled holographic signed BlackRock shooter from the BlackRock shooter extra boosters.
Yep.
Why does that get pull of the week? Because that set's really hard to find.
Yeah.
Like it's and if you do find it, it's super expensive.
Yep.
So pull of the week. There you go.
See, I thought I was fancy pulling 2 signed cards. No,
Nah, he pulled a
Doesn't matter.
holographic.
it doesn't matter. I know none of mine were hollow. which is totally unfair and unjust, and I demand some hollow signed cards, because here's my signed, okay? Look at that. But mine aren't hollow, so mine are nowhere near as cool.
Plus, Milky Holmes is not as cool as Black Rock Shooter.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Bro of the Week story
Bro
comes
of the
from
week, yes. Yes.
me and Trisha were at a Popeyes that day, and we were like, I want Popeyes. And for some reason, her card got declined. And we figured it out later that like all of her money like automatically transferred to her savings for some weird reason. So when we tried to swipe it, taken from her checking, there was nothing in her checking. So it was like we called and had it transferred back. But you know, when it got declined initially, an elderly gentleman, like just this big guy that's like taller than me and just big, he said, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh, her card got declined for some reason, but I know there's money in there. I don't know what happened." He's like, "I'll buy your guys' lunch." And I was like, "What?"
Pretty cool,
Faith in
man.
humanity restored a little bit.
For sure. That's
And
pretty cool.
we came back in, we bought our food, and we sat back down. And I went up to him with his wife and kid, and I was like, "My name is Sam, and I just wanted to thank you. You know, it's really amazing that you would offer to buy our food." And he was like, "Dude, it's no problem. Like, whatever. You know, this is my wife, and this is my son. You know." I'm like, "Dude, it's nice to meet you guys. Like, you know, you guys are legit."
Yep.
You know? He was cool. That dude was so chill. Like,
That
there's
is
no
really
one.
cool.
It's nobody's business what happens to you in the line of, you know, a baseball game, a fast food restaurant, or
Right.
anything. It's nobody's business, and he decided to make it his business, and that's just like kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
So, bro of the week
Goes to that guy.
goes to that guy.
Goes to
Right
that guy. Hey,
Faith in humanity.
yeah, exactly. Hey, Shy Guy, are you keeping that card, or are you looking to sell it? Not for me. I don't want it. But I'm just wondering, because I saw one on eBay going for like, I think 70 with like
Jeez.
40. It had 40 bids on it. It was crazy.
That's insane.
Dude, Calvin, some of these signed cards, dude, they're super hard to get, but they go for like
Yeah.
anywhere from $30 to $300.
Yeah. This one is on eBay for like $90, something around there.
See, I could justify spending $90 on a card that was actually signed by a voice actor or an artist.
Well, yeah.
But it's a printed signature.
Well, it's a
not as
gold
cool.
printed signature though. It's printed in gold.
Dude, Calvin, you know what, dude? Shut up. Okay? Like,
You know what, Calvin?
One second.
Fuck you.
dude, I know what he means though, because my EDH general is signed by the artist. So it's
See,
like,
check these out. Signed artist.
Oh, whatever.
These
Get
are-
out
these
of
are
oh,
here.
lands.
sick. Those are sick.
I have sets of 4 of the 5 basic lands, and I'm gonna get more.
Shut
But,
Those
up.
are sick.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
Wow, way to just completely belittle our accomplishments. Thanks a lot, you jerk. And it looks like he's saving them. He's going to keep them. That's good.
Yeah, Deadmaster, signed Deadmaster is even more
Why not?
expensive, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, I think that does it.
Yeah, I'm good.
If you guys love the show, please share the Facebook page and spread the word about the Twitter. You can follow us at Cards in Hand MN or with the @ symbol, whatever how Twitter works. I don't care. And
Hashtag, right?
hashtag selfie, hashtag butts, hashtag in this bitch, hashtag turned up.
Yep. That.
YOLO swag.
Okay, yeah. Anyway.
And like and share the Facebook page, please. Please do that. That'd be really cool. And I want to do another poll right now.
Okay.
If you like Calvin on this show, comment when we post the YouTube video on the Facebook page. Comment on that posting saying Calvin is hot. And if you like Calvin on the show, we'll know.
What do we say if we don't like Calvin? I mean, what do they say if they don't like Calvin?
Calvin is kind of handsome, but I'm not really feeling it.
That works.
Okay. Let's see.
I like both those
Calvin
things.
is kind of... Okay.
Wait, you don't want me on the show?
What? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. You're paranoid, dude.
Okay, so
Calvin, I would love it if you were on the show.
as promised for the end of the show.
Wait, hold on. Wait, one thing before you do that. Okay.
No,
One thing before you do that.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. This weekend, I'm heading up to Canada to compete in a Pro Tour qualifier.
Ooh.
So I may have some stories coming back for next week.
Oh, that's super cool.
Oh, hell yeah,
oh my
dude.
God.
Wait, where's it again? Canada, you
It's in
said?
Winnipeg. Yep.
Damn.
That's super cool. That is super cool.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for that. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, well, I guess we might have to ask again for next week then, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we'll
know
figure
you
that
got
out.
school in the morning, but like, who fucking cares? Like,
Yeah, dude, I have to wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
who cares, man? You fine. You get good grades all the time, don't you?
Nah.
No. Okay, so I gotta show you something, and then Sam's gonna sing, and then we'll let you go. How's that?
Okay.
So I know I talked earlier about giveaways. If we can get, I'm gonna say 40
50?
more people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
40
yeah,
more.
That sounds
I'm gonna start giving
So-
stuff away.
80
Yep.
likes.
And here's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be signed cards, not all the time, but it's gonna happen. And also, I just got this in the mail. I don't know if you can see this. This is my new playmat. Okay, amazing quality playmat, by the way.
It's rubber with fabric, right?
It
It's
is,
like a
yep.
legit playmat?
It's
Okay.
actually a legit playmat. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. The guy that sells it sells a ton of different anime mats. And they're all, now I'm like out of focus. And they're all really, really nice like this. And also they do custom ones. Sam and I being people that can actually do design stuff, we could start giving these away. They could either be your choice of anime or a custom mat as well. So like for giveaways, we could do stuff like that.
Yep, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down with that too. Calvin, are you down with that?
Sure. I have a few mats I can maybe donate.
Shit, there we go. We also have we're talking about sleeves, little things here and there. We wanted to do something small every month and then something big annually, like every couple months, right?
For sure.
Annually?
Well,
Once a year.
Annual, yeah, once a year.
What is it what's 4 times a year?
I don't know.
Oh, Mr. Smart Guy.
Quarterly?
Quarterly, thank you. Okay, quarterly it is. Oh, Mr. Smart Guy in school or whatever. Whatever.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, so 80 likes, make it happen. Share, like the page. If you're part of any other groups on Facebook, other than,
Shut up,
the
Todd.
pages, like the page, share it everywhere you're part of a group. And shout out to iMagus 2001. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares what you say. So go home.
I care what you say.
Out of here.
I care what you say.
Out of here.
I care.
Just kidding.
Now you got to sing.
All right. So, as requested by Fear the Shy Guy.
Wait, time out one more time.
Let's not delay this.
Let's say goodbye now. Let's say goodbye now, and then we'll close with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes.
Yes.
Like and share the Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. Share any groups. If you like Calvin on the show, comment on the post when we post a YouTube video. Calvin is hot. HAWT. Bizzle.
Okay.
And let us know if you have anything. If there's any card games out there that you want us to talk about. I know Monster Rancher has been on my list.
We just can't find anything about it.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to find Monster Rancher cards. Me and Joel will be playing a couple Digimon matches. Maybe we'll talk about that next week too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let us know if any requests, anything like that. And keep an eye on the Facebook page for polls, questions, fun things like that. And 80 likes and giveaways will start. So please,
that's a guarantee.
That will happen if you.
How many likes do we have?
We're at 43 right now.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, not for 4 weeks. That's not bad.
So 37 more.
Mm-hmm.
Please, that would be awesome. And giveaways will happen.
Yep.
So
not contests, but giveaways.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. So all right.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, y'all. Okay, Sam, go ahead and hit it.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family.
God damn it.
There's old friends and new friends and even a bear. Though good times and bad times, it's true that we share. And so I found a place where everyone will know my happy black guy face. This is a Cleveland show.